Game 4 tonight. Boston up 2-1 has featured the best 25 or under teammates in the NBA. Jason Tatum, whose 25 assists are 10 more than any other player in the series, and Jaylen Brown, who leads the Celtics in scoring. Not a great finals so far for the Warriors' Draymond Green, who's committed as many fouls in the series, 15, as he's scored points. In fact, his 9 combined points, rebounds, and assists in Game 3 is the lowest total of his 30-game finals career. Near disaster for the Warriors late in Game 3 when Steph Curry injured his foot after getting tangled up with Al Horford going for a loose ball. He is expected to play tonight. Brian Windhorst with us live from the NBA Finals. Windy, we have video here of Steph Curry at shoot-around earlier today. Should we expect Steph to be Steph tonight?
Yeah, I don't know if we could take anything away from that video. He was doing very light shooting, just sort of testing out, pushing off of it. He's going to have to be Steph tonight, though, because he is there far and away the most prolific offensive player in this series. He's averaging 31 points a game. And he's going to need to be light on his feet because only one free throw in Game 3, that's not going to get it done. He is going to have to take advantage of the space that the Celtics have been giving him, try to create some contact, try to apply some more pressure. It's hard to say that Steph Curry needs to do more because it's not like he's not doing anything, but I think for the Celtics to have any problems with the Warriors on offense, it's going to take more from Curry.
Oof, so asking a lot. I thought he's been terrific, especially in Games 2 and 3 when they've needed it most. How do you think the one day of rest affects Robert Williams, Wendy?
Yeah, to me, a big factor in this game tonight is how does Robert Williams feel when he comes out here to the pregame and warms up. He says he really never knows for sure until he goes through that warm-up. He's had a bunch of time off between games recently, and now he's only got the one day of rest. He doesn't do anything on the off days except straight get treatment. So when he warms up, he figures out how much activity he can have in the game. That's a huge factor because he has far and away been the best defensive player in this series, and when he is aggressive and able to move around and get up on the guards when they come off the screens, it totally changes the way the Celtics are on defense.
Wendy, the Celtics are 7-0 after a loss in these playoffs. Why is that, do you think?
No, for everything that they do very well, they don't retain their focus very well. And they tend to get a little bit sloppy, especially with the basketball. Turnovers is the bellwether for this team. When they hold on to the ball and execute games in the half court, they are the better team. When they allow the opponent, in this case the Warriors, to get free runs to the basket without setting the defense, they're just not the same squad. And so what we've seen in this postseason where they've been 3-6 after wins in these last 3 rounds, has just been a lack of that focus that's gotten them into the lead. Meanwhile, the Warriors have been terrific off of losses in this postseason, undefeated. So if you look at that trend, you would feel really good about the Warriors' chances to even the series tonight.
All right, Timberwolves guard Patrick Beverley now joins the conversation. Pat, first of all, what did you see from Steph when you watched him? Because you take anything away?
I was trying to see something. I didn't see anything particular. I didn't see any hesitation anywhere. I just, I hope he's cool, but he has to be cool for them to have a chance. So.
What's the biggest thing you're looking for from the Warriors?
Defensive rebounding and transition. When I mean transition, I mean pace. I feel like if they can rebound, if Draymond Green can give me a double-digit rebounding game, they get out in transition. I think they can be the Warriors that we're used to. So just defensive rebounding and transition.
Windy, what's going on with Golden State's offense, do you think?
Yeah, so their action off ball, which is really their bread and butter, when they run that motion offense, they're not generating open looks out of that like we're used to seeing. Because the Celtics are switching all of that stuff, they have such aggression, and so they're really relying on straight Steph Curry action, straight Steph Curry high pick and roll. And the reason that's more successful than anything is because the Celtics like to play big. They like to play a lot of times with 2 bigs, and Al Horford and Robert Williams, and Steph can beat those guys. They have to give him space coming off screens, and then when they do give him space, he can attack them running downhill. That's the area where the Warriors have to take advantage, and I'm sorry to say this, the nuance here is it's not that Steph isn't playing great. He is. He just needs to go LeBron mode. I really do believe it. If he's got that, if he can do it on that left foot. And when I say LeBron mode, I mean head towards 30 shots, try to get fouls, pinch that advantage as much as you possibly can because the Celtics have demonstrated they don't intend to trap him. And if they're not going to trap him, I think where the Warriors can improve is just more shots, more Steph.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.